Let's pull up the charts for BLS International today. The stock is buzzing in trade. It's trading with more than gains of 6.5% as of now. And why is that so? One, they've won an order. Another, actually, they wins an Schengen global visa outsourcing contract that they've got for Slovakia. And on the back of that, today we're seeing the stock is buzzing in trade. Last 1 year also, the stock has gained 67%. Fabulous up move is what we've seen coming in. Now, what does this contract actually mean for the company? Where is the company headed from here on? Shikhar Aggarwal, who's a joint managing director at BLS International, is joining in with us. Thank you so much, Shikhar, for joining in with us this afternoon on ET Now. It's a pleasure having you on the show. And, Shikhar, I'm going to start by this contract that you've got for the Schengen Global Visa, this outsourcing contract for Slovakia that is there. What is the revenue potential that is there here? What is it that you're seeing in terms of trends that have come in from Slovakia? Are there that many requirements that are there for this region?
Hi. So basically, as BLS International, this year itself, we have won a lot of Schengen contracts, like with the government of Germany, Hungary, Portugal, Poland. And on top of that, we have recently won a contract for the Slovakia government, which is part of the Schengen territory. So under this contract, we will have to open offices in 18 countries, globally, wherever Slovakia is outsourced, and we will be opening 54 offices. So this is a big win for us because this is the second global Schengen visa contract that we have won. This year we had renewed our contract for the Spanish government. We had won the retender. So in this contract, we will be opening offices across the world. But not only that, what we will be doing is, our existing offices network that we have in 64 countries, we will be utilizing that to fulfill this contract. And this contract entails, all different categories of applications like student visas, work visas, tourist visas, as well as business visas. So all categories have been outsourced to us. So this gives a big boost to our credibility and strength across European governments, across Schengen governments. And we have been telling about the $1.2 billion opportunity. This is one of the contracts that we have won from that opportunity. A lot of other contracts we will see in the coming years, that we can win a certain market share from them.
Just a bit more on that. One, what is your contract win guidance also that you have going forward? And specifically for this contract, how much do you think is going to be your revenue potential? How much would it be adding to your top line in the next couple of years?
See, this contract, if you see in 2021, there are 21 million visitors that had visited Slovakia. Not all of them need visas. This is a new contract for us. We do not know the exact numbers that we will get, but definitely, it will at a minimum level add 10-15%, grow to our top line in terms of revenue and profitability of the companies. But definitely, I think as we roll out offices, revenue should increase in the next few years because of this contract.
Well, Shikhar, Soumit this side joining in the conversation. Given the geopolitical issues that we are currently seeing, have visa applications been impacted? Is there a slowdown that you're seeing? Is there more delays or push forward seeing from customers?
See, we operate in an environment where definitely geopolitical issues affect the company on an ongoing basis, but it does not lead to any change in revenue or profitability of the company. So impact of any geopolitical tension like the war that is going on is negligible on our business. So we see growth in our application count. If you see the first quarter number that we've achieved, we've done 383 crores of revenue, which is a 40% growth year on year. And 80 crores EBITDA, which is 150% growth compared to similar quarter last year. And we expect to maintain those numbers in the coming quarters. Definitely all these new contracts that we have won will add to revenue and profitability of the company. And we see more growth coming in the next few years.
Well, Shikhar, we were also speaking to some domestic players, and what we understand is that given that a holiday period is now coming, the demand for domestic travel is very strong. But how does it appear to be for international travels? How have been the forward bookings or applications for travel looking like? Is there an increase? If there's an increase, what is it in percentage terms, if you could tell us? Or is there a slowdown that we are seeing for international travel?
No, definitely. I think after COVID, there has been an increase in international travel. Before it was a seasonal kind of, trend, but from India now we are seeing growth momentum coming in. Last few months have been a lot of MICE travel. A lot of conferences were happening in Europe. Even the next few months, we expect, obviously not the same amount of travel as happens in the summer season, but we still expect a good growth momentum, happening in terms of outbound from India. There are a lot of events also happening within India, like the G20, the Cricket World Cup. So we saw a lot of India inbound numbers also increase because we also work for a lot of Indian missions across the world.
Right. Shikhar, obviously you have seen an increase in these numbers. Inbound travel has also seen an increase. Anything specific, when I look at it, you do have a cash reserve of around 650 crores. Is there any plans of acquisitions, or what is the strategy for this use of this cash flow that you have?
Yes. So see, last year, in fact, we had acquired a company called Zero Mass for 150 crores. So we had utilized certain amount of cash flow for that. This money that we have earned in the last 12, 15 years since the incorporation of the company, we are utilizing that in terms of rollout of new centers. When we win contracts, we expect, as you know, there's a big pipeline of tenders that are coming up for rebidding or a renewal. If we get certain percentage of that, we will definitely have to utilize cash for deployment of offices globally. On top of that, we're also looking at acquisition opportunities, in terms of visa players or regional players in this segment. Also, if you see, we have been declaring dividend, from the day we got listed. So definitely, this is the utilization of cash in these 3-4 respects.
Okay. And Shikhar, what is it? What kind of value-added products are expected to be launched? Anything on those lines, if you could give us an indication on that front?
Definitely, we are offering a lot of value-added products. Mobile biometric, which is kind of a service called Visa at your doorstep or in offices of people or corporates. That is a very good service wherein people do not have to come to our centers. We can come to their offices or houses, to collect biometrics. That service is doing very well with the corporates and even individuals. Now people require travel insurances when they have to travel. It's also a requirement for a Schengen visa category. So we are also, tied up with some travel insurance partner, and we've been seeing good growth in that service. People have also been opting for courier return delivery of passports. They've been opting to submit application at different timings, which are outside the regular working hours of the center, which is called prime time, premium lounges. So definitely we have seen a good traction in terms of value added services also.
Okay, and lastly, Shikhar, I just want to ask one thing is BLS services, what's the progress there in terms of IPO plans? Anything you could tell us on that?
Yeah. So see, BLS services, which is 20% of the revenue of the company. If you see the last year revenue, we had a massive growth of more than 120% in that business. This business comprises of our, digital e-governance business, which is citizen services business, and the banking correspondent business. This business has been growing phenomenally well. And from that aspect, the subsidiary called BLS services, which we have already filed the DRHP, depending on the SEBI's approval, we plan to list the company. The reason for that is the money that will be utilized, from the IPO proceeds will come into the company. It is a preference share. There is no offer for sale from the existing shareholders. So company post listing will also continue to remain a subsidiary of BLS International. The money that we generate, we will be utilizing that in deployment of centers across India, the new contracts that we are eyeing in e-governance and banking correspondent, in terms of technology that we wish to develop in this segment, and also acquisition that we are looking at e-governance. So I think that we expect phenomenal growth also coming in from BLS services.
Right. Thank you so much, Shikhar, for joining in with us this afternoon on ET Now, giving us an understanding on the new contract win. What does it mean for the company, and where's the company headed going forward as well. Thank you so much, Shikhar, for joining in with us. That was BLS International Management for you all.